Have Alexander Isak and his agent send a come and get me message to Liverpool Football Club? Well, his agent has had some interesting things to say according to Saudi Arabian papers, and we're going to go through those comments now. Hello Liverpool fans and welcome back to For the Reds. My name is Ryan. We're bringing you some information that broke last night around Alexander Isak and his potential move away from Newcastle United. Now, first of all, Newcastle have been dead set in their sort of stance regarding Isak that he's going nowhere. Okay, he's not for sale this summer. We have no interest in parting ways with him. So, you can go away. There's no point even sniffing around him. However, Alexander Isak and his agent seem to feel a slightly different way, and even potentially Eddie Howe. Now, we've already spoke a little bit about Eddie Howe's comments after the Celtic defeat that sort of opened up speculation regarding a move for Alexander Isak, and since then, his agent has come out and spoken as well. Now, according to Saudi Arabian newspapers, Isak's agent is quoted to be saying along the lines of, we are taking this opportunity to analyse and decide on our next steps for the player. We believe we're close to a conclusion. I think it was something around the lines of I'm not going to comment on whether that is a move away from Newcastle or a transfer or a new deal with Newcastle. That then sent Twitter into a frenzy. Newcastle fans and Newcastle aggregator pages started to get really annoyed. And even some of them were saying well, we're done with the player. No one's bigger than the club. It's clear his head's been turned. Liverpool Football Club Twitter obviously went into euphoria. Is this a potential move to us? Is he opening the door to the fact that Isak is going to push for the move? I'm not so sure it is. It can be interpreted in two ways. One is Alexander Isak is going to sign a new deal with Newcastle as a sign of intent, but also probably with a gentleman's agreement of a future get-out clause. Or it signals that Isak and his agent are going to now start pushing on that exit door. I believe Liverpool journalists are sitting on a big story of us submitting a bid for Alexander Isak. I think we believe the player's head's turned. We're getting encouragement from some places. I also said on a previous video that in my opinion, Eddie Howe is actually the one that is open to letting Isak leave. And it's the owners of Newcastle, the Saudi Arabian owners, that will not sort of bring it to the table and sanction any deal. Which is why I think his agent's comments in Saudi Arabia are quite clever, because they'll hit their ownership first straight away. It could also signal bringing in Saudi Arabian clubs for the player, as I'd imagine it'd be a lot easier for Newcastle to sell to Saudi Arabia when it comes to fan approval than it would be to, a deemed Premier League rival. I honestly, hand on heart, think we are going to get some breaking news in this next 12 to 24 hours of Liverpool submitting an official bid for Alexander Isak. So my advice to you would be to watch this space. Subscribe to For the Reds, because I'll be bringing you updates. And if you go over to my TikTok as well as my YouTube shorts, that's where you get instant news reaction before I get the chance to sit down and make these lengthier videos. But let me know what you think regarding this news. Is this a case of Alexander Isak is up for sale and it's now about him and his agent pushing for the move? Are they bringing Saudi Arabia in so that Newcastle can accept a bid from Saudi Arabia? The player can make it clear, I don't want to move out of Europe. Then Liverpool can come in and match that fee that had already been agreed, and we can negotiate. And Newcastle then have a stance of, well, look, we tried to sell the player to improve the squad. He's also not happy here. We looked at Saudi Arabia because we didn't want to sell him to a direct rival. It was clear that the player wouldn't move there. He wants to stay in Europe. This forces our hand because we don't want to keep an unhappy player and we don't want to sacrifice 130, 140 million pounds. I think this opens the door ajar, only ajar. But if anything, Liverpool are ready to go and steam through that with 120 million pound bids and more. So I honestly believe that is coming. That's on its way. An official bid released into the media for Alexander Isak, if it's not already been done by the time this video is uploaded. Do they fit? Hugo Ekitike lands in Liverpool today to do his medical for a pending move to be completed tomorrow, and then fly out to Hong Kong, I believe it is, to join the rest of the Liverpool squad on tour. I've seen some debates this morning around, well, it doesn't really work. You don't sign a player for 79 million and then say, look, you might be sitting on the bench. There's a very high chance that Liverpool are going to play 60 to 70 games next season, especially if they go all the way in all the competitions that they want to. It's impossible for Hugo Ekitike or Alexander Isak to play a full 60, 70 games. Building a squad that can compete on all fronts requires 2 players in each position who can start and do the business. Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike is not beyond the realms of possibility of being Liverpool's 2 striker options next season. Liverpool Echo, Ian Doyle, have just said that themselves. This is a roller coaster of a transfer window so far, and the story and the saga around Alexander Isak is far from done, in my opinion. It could even rumble on to future windows if it's not concluded in this summer. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. Like I said, subscribe to For the Reds. We are on our way to 500. I really appreciate the recent support. This is your place for all Liverpool news and opinions and analysis, and we've got plenty more coming to the channel. So please carry on that support, and I shall see you all in the next one.